any business object, when you are working with, first we need to import, then only we can able to work with those inbuilt actions. Right? That is the default thing. Okay. Now today, so what we are going to do is we will discuss about one live application. So how to work with any live application. Here our requirement is, okay, just let me create Excel file. Okay, already. Create a new one. Okay, let's show the application first. Go to.
Dinesh, can you share your screen, please?
Okay, let's go. Can you able to view now? Our requirement is we need to convert currency. Convert currency. So for live rates. See this, we have some applications. xe.com, xe.com. This is a live rates conversion. What we are going to do is here, we have some values in an Excel file. Assume that we need to convert all these values into different currency formats. It means, for example, I will give a value of 9999 or another 99999. This value I need to convert from USD to INR. Change this. This is our requirement. Now what happened? It's converted. Then you got the result. Same way. So another requirement is same 9999 value. EUR to INR. We need to convert. Or EUR to US dollars. You need to convert. Right? Assume that we have some records in a Excel file like 1000 or 2000 records or 3000 records, whatever it may be. For all these records, you need to convert from one format to another format. It's not fixed, right? That is our requirement. Then what we have to do? Each and every record we need to take the amount from Excel and then input format to Excel, output format from Excel, and then you need to paste it, and then you have to click go, and then you need to capture this result, right? This is how we have to perform. It's a manual work. Converting is a manual work. Each and every record, 2000 records or 3000 records, we need to do it manually, and then we can able to capture the things. But if you do it that, it will take very long time, right? Manually, if you want to do, if you want to copy paste everything, and then if you want to calculate, and then if you want to pick the result, means it will take time. Instead of that, what we are going to do is we are going to automate these specific things. We are going to automate this currency converter application. How to do that? How many options we are performing here? First is opening currency converter, right? Second, first we are going to launch currency converter. We need to launch. After that, we need to enter amount. After that, we need to give input currency format. After, we need to give output currency format. After that, we need to click on a go button. After that, or convert. There is nothing but a convert button. Convert button. After that, you will get a result. Right? How many options we have here? How many things we are creating? How many elements? After getting the result, you can terminate. We can terminate. Observe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. First, we need to launch If you want to launch, what we have to do? We need to create a application modular. Once you create application model, automatically it will create a main element. By using that, we are going to create a amount. After that, input currency, output currency, convert, result, and terminate. All these things we need to create a elements, and we need to create a separate actions for this. Right? This is our requirement now. So first, we will go with some user defined values. Later on, we will discuss how to work with, how to get the values from Excel sheet, how to give those values to this particular fields one by one. If you have 100 records, 100 records has to be go to this application. It has to enter from each and every field. It has to enter the data into the proper amount field. It has to enter here. Input currency field, it has to input currency format. It has to enter here. Output currency format here. After that, convert. After that, it has to take the result from here, and then it has to display. That is our requirement for this. So we have to implement all these things. Now see, so how to work with this, how to automate this application. What is the URL for this? First we will copy that URL. Any application, before going to automate, first you need to go through that application, then only you can able to understand so what are the things it is happening. Now first we need to launch. Observe this, it is still browsing. It means to launch it is taking some time. After that, we are entering data. Immediately after that, we are entering data. After that, it is not taking time. But here, observe this. After click on go, it's going to the another window. It will take some time to open properly. Right? Again, here we need a wait option, and here launching we need a wait option. Right? We have to use a wait. Did you discuss about the wait? Static, dynamic, and then user defined wait. Just a minute, we'll check. Yep, we discussed, right? Okay, fine. So now we will see so how to work with these things. Now here we understood clearly by seeing this application. In a launch we need a wait. After that, in a convert, after the convert we need a wait. Okay. Now come to this. Create a object. Right click. Create object. Currency. Convert. Next. Finish. Double click on that. Now we need to create application first. Application modular. Application name, let it be. Next, which application it is? Browser based application. This is browser based application. Now web based application also same, don't get confused. Next, and we need to execute from launch from executable file. Next, and observe, by default it is going to take IE Explorer. Always preferable is Internet Explorer. If you go to some Chrome, if you go to some Firefox, it will not support properly. Now next, and what it is asking, please enter the URL. The URL we copied already. Paste it. This is the URL we are going to work with. Next, the created application remaining everything is next. Okay. Observe, main element it has been created. We will use main element to launch to terminate. Right? What it says here, application name currency converter. This is the executable path where it is available, and then this is the URL which you are going to work with. And first we need to launch by using application modular. Here I'm going to close this. We have used here by using Chrome, but when you launch by through application model, it will open in Explorer. Launch. So it's taking some time, right? What it means by that? We have to use a wait here. So this still it is browsing. We have to use a wait. We can use wait. Okay, later we will create. Already we have an element. Now what we need to do? We need to create a action. Always create one element, create one action. Then you will not get confused. Otherwise, you can able to do like this also. Create all the elements, and then after that you can create all the actions. But the best practice is create a element and create an action. Right click, action name, rename, launch, click OK. To launch, which one you have to use? Navigate stage. Give that link. Good. Now double click, element, action, launch. Action is launch. Good. Now click OK here. We are launching this. After launching, what we are going to do? We are going to give amount here, amount here. Then we have to create an element. We have to spy this, and then we need to create that as an action. So come here, come to the application modular. What we are doing? Entering amount and spy, identify. Come to this. Now observe this. We are having two things, right? It's spying in a single object, single element. It is spying two things. Which one we have to go? Did you need to go for a outer one? Did you need to go for a inner one? We can't able to decide that. Remember that always we have to cross check and we have to test it. Which one we have to take? It depends on application behavior, how they have created in a backend, how they have programmed for this in the backend. Based on that, is it going to work? So if you are not sure about which one I have to take, which spy mode I have to create an element. Create an element for both the things, and then you can able to test. You have to test to decide which one it is going to work. Sometimes by seeing the properties, you can able to understand. By seeing the properties, if you can't able to understand, then must and should you have to test that element, and then you have to decide which element I have to use for actions. Now we will first go with outer one. Control, left click, uncheck wherever you don't have values, and by default uncheck the parent URL. Here we came to know why we are going to uncheck parent URL. Sorry. Now test it. It's taking outer one. Okay. Now apply. We will create for inner one also. Amount, inner. Again identify inner one. Control, left click. Now okay. Now observe the properties. These for inner one properties, right? It says that okay, uncheck parent URL. It says that it is a input and it is accepting text. Okay, it is accepting input type is text, and then in so ID amount and then true. Okay, now come to this outer one, first one. What it says? Is it saying anywhere this is a text? What we need to do? We need to enter some information here, right? Anywhere it is taking that as a ID? No. By seeing this, we can able to understand it will go for inner one. It will work inner one. You can't able to decide that, then let it be both the things, and then create a action in your application and Object Studio. Then test it. For what we are going to do here, we are writing something. So test it. Then you can able to understand is it working fine or not. Here most of the time we can able to, by seeing the properties, you can able to understand. See this input, it is saying it is taking as a input, so it will accept. But here it is not taking as a input, so it will not. Now, so we don't need this outer one. Delete, apply, okay. We created an element. Now come here. We need to create a, click OK. Sorry, we'll rename it. Rename as amount. Click OK. It has been launched already. We need to, what we are doing here, we are writing something. We are entering data. We have to use write. Double click. Where is that element? Amount. And then what is the value we need to give? This is the value I need to convert. Click OK. Test it. Reset. Run. So this is it entered the value here 7876. Sorry, 9876. It's entered. Now after that we need to give input currency format. If you observe the behavior of this, if I click on this type to search, we can able to type. Again, right? We can able to type, it will accept. Now here we have a drop down list also. In going forward classes, we'll see how to work with a drop down list. Wherever it is accepting type, then we can go for a write. If it is not accepting type, then we have to go for a drop down list. We'll see that how to do that. Now create a element for that. Come here, create application modular. What we need to do, add a element. This is for input format, input currency format. Identify, come to the application, this one. Here see this only one thing, it is spying. It's not spying multiple things, only one thing. Control left click, it is going to capture properties. Now uncheck wherever you don't have values, and as well as parent URL. Okay, good. Now highlight. Yeah, it's working. Apply and okay. Now next, output currency. First we will test it. Right click, new, input, click OK. Again what we are doing, we are writing. Double click on the right, come here, use this. And then what is the value you need to write here? For example, UR, click OK, refresh and test it. We have USD here, right? Click OK. Now observe, it entered UR. It entered UR. Next is output. Add element and output currency format. Click identify. Come here. This for output currency format. Uncheck wherever you don't have values and parent URL. Now highlight. And apply. Now we need to create a element for this. Right click, rename, OK. Sorry, rename this as a input. We need to create an output. Right click, new output currency format, click OK. Again we need to use a write. Give the link, double click, output, and then we need to convert into INR. Click OK, reset, and test it. Sorry, it entered values. Observe, it's entered INR. Okay, good. Now next what we need to do, we need to click on this. This is convert button. Come here, go to application modular, add element, convert button, and again click on identify. Come to this. Observe this here. Here also two things. It is buying two things. Which one we have to use? First one we used inner one, right? But what about this? Can we go for inner one blindly? No. We have to test the properties. We have to check the properties. And then if you are not sure with the properties, you have to cross check. You have to cross check. Now, first we will go with outer one. Control, left click. Okay. This is a convert button. Now observe the properties. It is saying that it is a convert, and then it is saying that it is a button. Okay. Now we'll go for another thing. That is outer one. Apply. Just create another one. Let it be identify. Come here. This is the inner one. First one is outer one. This is inner one. Now observe the properties of this. Anywhere is it saying it is a button? No. But observe this. It says that it is a button. So convert button, right? So this by seeing this you can able to understand. So this is going to work. So like that we have to decide. And this here we don't want to use this. Right click, delete. Always it's a better practice to capture and then you can able to decide. If you are not sure, then you have to test it. Now, highlight, yes, apply, and OK. Come to the application. What we need to do, right click, new, convert, click OK on this. Which one we have to use? Button, mouse click. So we use navigate. Double click on this, convert, use. This is, if you have plus you can able to use. Otherwise click center. See this, click center, double click center. How to decide that? Did I need to go for a single click or did you need to go for a double click? When you are cross checking in application you can able to understand. So here when you are using that, only one click we are using, so click center. Now click OK, test it, please, and run. Now observe, it's converted. Now we need to capture this. We need to capture this one. Come here, create a application modular, create another element called result or output, whatever it may be. Identify. Come to this. See this one. Control, left click. I captured. Now match and check wherever you don't have values. Here I will observe the parent URL thing, what it is taking. Observe this. Observe the link for the parent URL, what it says. It's taking currency converter amount 9876 to from EUR to INR, right? This is the link it is taking. Next time, if you want to run this for some other value, and then if you click on a convert, and then if you go to result, if you pick the result, always it will try to give this value for EUR to INR only. If you want to convert INR to some other value, CAD to INR, AUD to INR, then it will not take, because so if you check parent URL, always it will try this, always it will try for this, but we don't want to do this. We have to go for dynamically. First one value, second another value, third another value. That's why we have to uncheck parent URL. That's the reason of so why we are unchecking parent URL to work with dynamic values. If you have only the parent URL checked, then it is not going to work for dynamic values. Okay. Now we created, right click, new. This is for result. Click OK. Which one we have to use to get the result? Read. We have to use read option. Give that link. Now double click, read result, and then data. Get current value. Where you need to store it in value. So this value from the result you can able to store this. Now run this. Is it picking the value from that particular thing or not? We'll check. Run. Yes, it's taking the value. Right? Okay, everything is fine now. It's working for this whatever the values we have given. Now what we need to do? We need to terminate. To terminate. Click OK. Terminate which action we have to use? Navigate and give that link. Double click main element, and then I have terminate option. Terminate. Click OK. That's it. Now if you run, it is going to terminate that currency converter application. Yes, it's terminated. But for this, what you need to do, you need to use a wait option. When you are checking that application, we understood that in a launch, after clicking on a convert button, we have to use a wait option. So use a wait here. Wait. Give that link. Give this link. So which is the preferable wait? Always it is a dynamic. So go for dynamic one. What is the next element after the launch? Amount. Right? So we will check the amount is exist or not. Amount field is exist or not. Give 30 seconds. If it exists, then so don't wait for 30 seconds. Come out from that. Okay. After that, what we have to do in convert, so it is taking some time. Here also we need to use a wait. Okay. Now again go to wait. Everywhere, can you go for dynamic wait every time? Okay. I will let you know. Double click, convert, you will get the result. Right? If you use check exist for the first record, yes, it exists. When you are entering next record, come here, we'll use it here. Currency converter. Assume that this is for first record. Some value we are given. Now this one AUD to INR, and then click on convert. Now observe, result exists now, right? If the result exists, then it will pick the value and then we can go for. That is fine. But when you are giving for the another value, see this, when giving for another value, we have this, and when you click on this, already result exists, right? But what is going to be happen here if you use a dynamic weight? It will pick whatever the value is available here, it will pick immediately. Right, now observe this. When you are converting, it is converting, meanwhile, so it is a previous value. It will take the previous value immediately. When you are running, it will take previous value, because so it's a dynamic weight, the value is available, always it will try to pick the same thing if the it is not refreshing fast. That's why we can't able to go for dynamic here. Everywhere understood that how to work with the application. That's why first we need to go through the application, we have to test it, then we can able to understand where to use a weight, where to use a dynamic weight, where to use a static weight. Okay, assume that it is taking 20 seconds. Now instead of dynamic weight here, we can use, I will delete this one. Okay, instead of that I will use some 20 seconds. Assume that based on that application, so within the 20 seconds it is going to refresh. Okay. After that you will get the result. After that you are going to terminate. Now we created all the actions. Now what we have to do, we have to launch each and every thing. Publish, sorry, we need to publish. After that we can able to launch it in our process studio. Publish. And remember, not all the actions need to be published. Whatever the actions you require to use it in a process studio, those things only you can publish. Sometimes we can create some actions for future purpose also, but it's not using in your process studio, then no need to publish unnecessarily. Save it. Now we're done. Now go to process studio and then we will see is it going to work properly or not. I click create a process, currency, converter, next, finish, double click on this. What is the first action we have to use? It's obviously launch. Now, launch. What is the business object name which we created? Currency, convert. And then what is the action we have to perform here? Launch. First we have to do launch. After the launch, we have to enter amount. Come here, amount, business object name, currency convert, amount. Click OK. After the amount, input currency. Input currency. And then currency converter. Here we have to use input. Next will be output currency. Come here, action, double click. So let's check it as output. Business object name, and then output. After the output, we need to click on convert button. Convert. Business object name, currency convert, convert button, convert. After the convert, we are going to pick the result. Action, double click, result. Object name. This one is for result. Now click OK. After the result, we are going to terminate. Double click. Terminate. Click OK. Double click. Business object name. Currency convert. Action name. Terminate. Click OK. Now give the link. Here. Start. Amount. Input. Output. Convert. Result. Terminate. And then this one. Or reset. And then we'll test it. Run. And then we can able to understand is it working properly in your process studio or not. Just run this. Excellent. Let's enter the UR INR and then it is converting. What happened? Here it's not moving to another step. No, let's click done and convert. After that, result done. Right? Okay. The result is calculated in a backend, right? How to see the result in your process studio? We need to see the result in process studio. Then how to do that? We need to create a output. After completion of the action, we are getting a output, right? That output we need to create as a output parameter, and you can able to call this output parameter here. How to work with output parameters? Where it is generating, there we need to create, and where we need to assign, and where we required, there we need to call. Where we required, here in this process studio, in the result we required, and where it is generating, right click, view action in object studio. Here it is generating. Here you need to create and assign output parameter. Add. Click here, output, and type. No need to give directly, you can pull this, give this, and then click OK. Save this one. We created output parameter here. Now we can able to call this in where we are using, where we required reset. Double click here, we required. Come to output. Here we need to just call. That's it. Now you can, when you run this, you can able to see that result in this particular window. Okay. Now reset and run. Sorry. Okay. Now observe the value we have here. Right. Okay. So this is user defined value. N number of times if you run also, same value it is going to take in input, same value it is taking in a output, and then same value it is going to take it in a amount, and then it will give the result same value. There is no change, right? But our actual requirement is we need to convert different values, different amount from different input format, different output formats, and you need to capture. This is our requirement. Then is these things is going to work? No, right? Assume that your data in a Excel file. That Excel file data you need to give it to collection. From the collection you will need to give it to the application. This is the process. We will see the same thing. So in next class how to work with that. Okay. So now I will give one assignment to you. Just try to implement this. What you have to do is go to facebook.com, facebook.com, and here you have an option to see this create first name, last name. You need to automate this creating a account, and then mobile number, password, and then here date of birth. Enter will work here, and then here also mouse click will work here. Spy this and then use a mouse click. After that create a account. When you create an account, so it will ask you, so some, it will give some number, OTP number to your mobile. You will get some OTP number. There what you have to do is you have to enter manually, right? Next page you have to enter manually. There use wait option. Use wait option for 30 seconds or 40 seconds, whatever it may be. Once you get that OTP number, enter it manually there. After that continue the process. Okay, so the under requirement is, by using this application, by using that process, you have to create automatically the Facebook account. That's the intention behind this. Okay, try this one. Okay. So, and then try to implement the same thing, the currency converter application. What we have done, they just try to implement. So we can able to see the things in next class. So how to work with a dynamically in the currency amount, how to convert the live rates from that particular data to this particular result. Okay. So any questions in this class?
Dinesh, one query from me.
Yeah,
So we have created multiple pages for each and every action, right?
sure.
So this is just a small program, so it's fine.
Mm,
But in case of any live programs, we
mm,
might be requiring to create multiple actions, right?
yes.
So is this the only option, or do we have any other option to reduce the number of
No.
pages?
So here, these things we will call it as a, remember,
Okay.
these things we will call it as actions here. Don't call this as a pages. In a process studio, we'll call that as a pages.
Okay.
But here we'll call it, there is no other option to create actions in a object studio, because if you create multiple things in a single thing, then you can't able to reuse. If you observe in previous class Excel, you have n number of things. Each and everything is individual only, right? It's not created in the one action shape. So one action object,
Okay.
it's not created multiple things, right? So every
Okay.
time remember, when you are creating actions, each and every option is separate action. Individually you have to create. That's the default rule.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Dinesh. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Nothing, Dinesh.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. See you later. Yeah. See you on Monday. Yeah. Bye bye.